And we are live, or at least we should be. I'll make sure.
Live from the middle of the desert, because that's the only place that this Wi-Fi could be as unseasonably hot and awful and a piece of garbage as it is currently. But in spite of these conditions,
wait, are you literally in the desert? I thought you were in Washington.
No, I'm in like the rainiest place on the planet, actually.
Okay, so no desert, just a Wi-Fi desert. All right.
No desert. Just a Wi-Fi, a technological desert.
It's like
an artifact, one might say, of a time long past. Speaking of artifacts, and the fact that was the best segue. We are reviewing Artifact by Orthuss.
I just realized that you're really quiet. Should I just turn you up and we should carry on, or do you want to start over?
I think let's start that over. That was a great monologue, and I think it deserves.
Is that a joke?
I think it deserves repeating.
I just turned you up, so I say we just carry on.
All right, let's go on. Hopefully people can just deal with me being. Hopefully people can just deal with me being quiet and shitty in the beginning.
Yeah, unfortunately, OTD's open rolling commentary was quite quiet, but I'm sure you will survive. So
it's quality content.
What track
the world is worse for having missed it. This is Artifact by Orthuss. I edited this. It was fun to edit.
I don't remember this track at all, so let's watch
it. I intentionally made it as like off-kilter editing and just very like unnatural cuts, that kind of thing.
All right, let's try it.
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Who's afraid of you, then?
So I took the sunrise time lapse from the gorge, and I just added as many effects as possible.
Oh, really? It's the same sunrise?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It starts out with the usual like repertoire of fling quirk. Most of my editing choices were to make what is essentially a pretty standard like Chewy Ninja style fling quirk into something that might like present more of like an aesthetic ethos, I guess.
It definitely does have that Chewy vibe.
Yeah.
Strong flings, small lines, single contact points.
And it continues much the same for the rest of it.
Yeah. I like that moment of airtime. Was that synced? And that must have been synced afterward, because that one didn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, nice job choosing video that was blocked everywhere. Choosing music.
That's the problem. One No Tricks Point never is so good. It's good to know that it's blocked, though, because I was going to use them for a big project, and now I'm not.
You can look that up, actually. I forget where. It's like youtube.com/copyright, and you search for a song, and it'll tell you if it's going to be blocked or not.
Huh. Anyway, a lot of... I don't know how much I have to say about this. It's just...
Well, I certainly don't really have anything to say about it, so I hope you have something.
Like, it's a lot of fling quirk, and I don't know what to tell you. If you're looking for technical perspectives, I'm not the person to ask. And...
Well, you're more knowledgeable about that than I am, that's for sure.
But that's like saying that, like, Deepak Chopra knows more about, I don't know, Deepak Chopra knows more about, let's say, microbiology than Oprah Winfrey. Yes, but not by much.
All right, I'll just roll with that analogy like it wasn't weird.
You know what? That's because it isn't. It's a 100% natural.
Right, I had to refresh the page in order to actually watch it again. And we can't really watch it in slow-mo, so I guess we'll just watch it again.
Yeah.
I'm going to try again. I'll try to come up with something this time. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Come up with something. A lot of the presentation is, as I mentioned, sort of ad hoc.
Yeah.
Sort of like I took the recording and did what I could with it.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't really have any sort of presentation in mind for this.
I noticed a foot manual there. I don't know. There was a foot manual.
Yeah. We're slightly desynced now because my thing is still buffering because, again, lest I remind the audience,
internet sucks.
The Wi-Fi in this place sucks pretty bad.
I like that bit of airtime, but I'm guessing that you sync that up with the song.
Yeah.
As opposed to him playing it. I'm curious what caused him to make that airtime. Something I am noticing is that it's very valence in that.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna restart it again and watch it again. It's very valence in that it's there is no airtime except for that one moment, and then the airtime and the credit at the end, which is an interesting moment because he goes up and then spins around and comes down and lands at the same spot where he lifted off, and that's the end of the track. I'm just wondering like what was Orthuss going through, like what was he thinking about when he was making this, or like what were his intentions behind this? Was he just like, I'm gonna make some quirk? Was he just like, I'm just gonna make something, and it ended up being this style of quirk? Was he trying to do chewy? Was he trying to do valence?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe here. I'm gonna pause this and go back and read. What did he say? I started this about the time I've been primarily using LRA. This is my first real quirk, I guess. It doesn't match up with blah 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 blah. Yes, it is a generic quirk. Yes, I did to practice things, and yes, I did have fun making it. Well, can't fault for that. So, I guess that's pretty much the explanation. It's a generic quirk that he made to practice things that he had fun making. I don't know if there's much critique I can offer to that.
There's a prevailing sentiment that, like, in order to express whatever concepts you want to in LineWriter, first you have to get good with technical things, and then you can move forward with expressing those concepts with all of your newfound technical know-how.
Yeah.
And I don't know how true that is.
Well, I mean, okay, so let me get on where's my soapbox?
Wait, hold on. I have these.
No, I'm kidding.
I have these dryer sheets. Dryer sheets.
That's not close enough. So I don't have a soapbox.
I have a second dryer sheet.
I don't have a soapbox, so I'm just gonna ramble.
Wait. I have Creative Sparks by Jim Krause.
Perfect. We'll do that. I would say that learning how to do things is an important part of being able to execute things that you want to do. So it is valuable to practice things and to get better at things that you want to get better at, especially if you're having fun with it. If you're practicing something and you're having fun practicing it, then you go just do that as much as you want, because there's no reason not to. It doesn't really matter what we think. It doesn't really matter what anyone thinks. If you're having fun and you're getting better at something, there's literally no reason you should not be doing that. But I would also say that in order to practicing something in order to be able to then create art is important, but it's half the puzzle. And I feel like sometimes in the LineWriter community, and this is probably why I've made I've been too quick to judge Orthuss's work, under this light. But I feel, and I've been wrong most of the time, so that's why I'm treading more carefully now. But I feel that a lot of the time, people have been in the line runner community treating treating it not as practice and more as a competition, and it
Okay.
turns from practice into how much have I practiced this, and therefore how much better am I at this than you, and that determines how good the track is, and that's not true. How good you are at doing a specific thing does not correlate to the strengths of the track under any definition, whether you want to talk about the strength of the track in its ability to make someone think about something, the strength of the track in its ability to present someone with a new idea, the ability of the track to blow everyone's minds, being really good at something that lots of other people are also doing does not necessarily, or actually does not at all, make the track good.
Okay, I got
now, I
half
feel
of
like
that because
some people take the route of getting really good at something to the point where they are way better at it than anybody else. And that's a really powerful tool, but it shouldn't be treated as an end in and of itself. Getting way better than everybody else should not be the goal of creating art. If you're really, really good at making a painting of a tree that looks exactly like a tree, that's great for you, but no one's going to care unless you can do something that's actually meaningful to other people. So there's my soapbox spiel.
I got about half of that because, and I reiterate this once more.
Your upload speed is fine. We can hear you just fine, so it's all good.
The Wi-Fi is just a big old banana dong right now.
So do you have anything to add to whatever you got from that?
So, I'm going to quote Creative Sparks on this one because it actually has some meaningful stuff in it. A little page from the designer's notebook. Drummer practicing loud and hard. Everything can be heard from outside the garage, every success and every failure. Drummer misses a phrase and then repeats it in short bursts until it works. I wonder, do the neighbors mind listening to these sessions? Probably. Does the drummer mind that the neighbors listen, especially when the drummer messes up? No. This drummer has ability and couldn't possibly give a damn about what any listener thinks about their drumming in the middle of a weekday practice session. If the drummer did care, they never would have gotten any good to begin with. As visual artists, why should we care so dearly what people think about our art? What does it matter if we create something that sucks every once in a while? How much time have we already lost worrying about it?
That's pretty solid.
I think people get caught up in the idea that if they don't make something that's like this immediate masterpiece, and this is what I see when I see Orthuss being like, this is a generic quirk.
I see it most when
feeling
he says
the need
it
to
doesn't
qualify
match up.
everything.
I'm going to quote him. It doesn't match up to the quirk standards nowadays, but hey, F your standards, right?
Like, when you make stuff, you should be making it for you and not for those standards. And if you
Especially if you're practicing. I mean, if you're making something to be watched, then you should care about what people think. But if you're making something to practice and have fun, it matters less. It matters a lot less.
Yeah.
It matters not at all, like the drummer you're talking about. If the drummer's performing on a stage, he should care what people think. But if he's practicing in the garage and people are overhearing him...
So, what I see here is a drummer's basement practice session where there's some moments that are like, okay, this is neat, you could go with that. And there's some moments where you're like, maybe not. But if you're doing this as that drummer in the basement, you should not be holding it to like the live
of
performance piece standards. at all times.
Or Sheldon, or
Right.
anyone who any like big track that's like, here's a big track that's making a statement and it's all full of work and insanity and I've worked for tons of time on this thing. This isn't that. And that does not mean that it is
you don't have to make jam to be a good line writer track maker.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to be a good line writer track maker to have fun.
Yeah.
And
so,
you know,
I think we will see a dramatic improvement in both what Orthuss does with his tracks and in how the tracks feel. The second he realizes, hold on, I can basically do anything.
Yeah.
Right now, I think Orthuss is kind of limiting himself, but when he excuse the Naruto metaphor, when he takes off the weights on his legs, he's gonna run really goddamn fast.
And I have something else to add to that, which is that I think I've pushed too hard for him to like do something that's not this, because for me, this track is like, to continue with the drummer practice metaphor, it's like someone is practicing let's say black metal. Now black metal is not a genre I will ever terribly enjoy.
Right.
and
so you feel
I am
hey,
not going to appreciate those practice sessions. I'm just going to be like there's going to be part of me that's just like, why can't you just stop and do something other than that? But that, it's not my place to say that the drummer should stop because I don't like what I don't personally like the music he's practicing, because that's none of my business, So
right.
I think that's my main message here, is that this is not my thing, but it's also none of my business. And if you're having fun and you did it to practice something you wanted to get better at, then that's all you
Krause
need.
has knowledge for us all.
I think that's all we have to say.
Yeah, Artifact by Orthuss. Interesting.
It's a thing.
Autumn Insomnia jam session by Orthuss.
It's a flink work. It's a practice track, and you have fun making it.
Thumbs up. All right.
That's it. Bye.